Hey, community, GW3 Live. We are so excited to be here for yet another incredible day. Not only are we excited to be bringing an amazing conversation, we're calling it Unshaken, baby. That's right, Unshaken. Three women, we're having one conversation, and truly, we're going to be talking about certain things that we're facing in life reality. For those who may not know, I'm Dr. Renee Noor, and it's always a pleasure to bring you great energy each and every day we go live with GW3 Live. First and foremost, I have some incredible guests that's not only they're here from their own perspectives, guys, but also we're honored to have them so therefore we can really get into this conversation and we're going to facing our fears, reality, and then also what in the world is going on right now and how we have to address certain things. So first and foremost, I'm going to go over to my superstar sister with GW3, Ms. Janet Alvarado. She's going to introduce herself, and then we're going to have her pass the mic to Miss Ann Summer, who's also here with us. So Janet, take it away, superstar.
Woo, woo, woo. Thank you, Renee Noor. Thank you, Dr. Renee Noor. Hello, everyone. My name is Janet Alvarado, and I'm a serial entrepreneur here in Las Vegas. I'm a chairwoman of the Global Women Wealth Warrior Society, and we actually started our own chapter here in Las Vegas. So if you're interested in being part of an incredible movement, women empowerment, when you empower a mother, you empower her family, and when you empower her family, you empower the community. And when we empower the community, we empower the world, everyone. So stick with us, get empowered, become unstoppable, unshakable, and fearless in this world today. Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Janet Alvarado, passing it on to Ann. Thank you.
Oh, that was wonderful. Hi, everybody. I am Ann Summer, Ann Stephan Summer. I'm a physician assistant and CEO of Ann Summer Coaching. A couple years ago, I left full-time practice, medical practice, and started coaching clients. What I'm doing right now is I came up with what I call a revolutionary discovery using my medical background, biology, universal law, physics, and I diagnosed fear. And what that means is I started to ask the question, what if we have fear wrong? Why is it so hard to treat fear-based illnesses like panic and anxiety? And why are they becoming a standard of normal living? And I have mapped it out, and I feel that I've come up with a very unique, revolutionary way of describing fear that it will touch so many people's lives, that takes a complex issue and makes it simplistic enough to give you the tools and steps to manage fear.
And for those who already know, who may not know, I'm Dr. Renee Noor. Not only am I grateful to be here with you with the GW3 Global Society, been able to embrace and provide a conduit for not only phenomenal women and men in the world, but truly have been transforming lives wherever we go. Thanks to so many who have been able to be impacted just by our leadership around the world. And today we are grateful to not only bring this deep dive conversation to help shape you, to help mold you, but most importantly, to help you transform your life. And I'm grateful that we have some phenomenal ladies that's going to help us to do that. So, ladies, are we ready? I mean, right now we are in the midst of not only the week, but we know we have about 111 more days before we end this year of 2026. So let's talk about it. And I mean,
Yeah.
you dropped some incredible information about, where you are now. And I just want us to talk about, how can that really impact us? So, Ann, roll out with one of those questions that you like to ask us. And also, I want you, as our viewers, to also respond to the question that we're going to be asking as well and place it in the chat so we know that you're there with us. And
Yes, yes, I would love that. The first question that I ask everybody, whether I'm working with them as a client or in this situation, is number one, tell me how you define fear in your life right now. Like, how does fear affect you? And what is that definition?
Well, Janet, you like to go first?
How I define fear is, well, for myself, when I'm fearful, it's because I'm not in gratitude. I'm not grateful for what I have. I'm focusing on the negative, on the
Mhm.
negativity, and that causes anxiety and fear in my body. So I have to pivot, be grateful, change the gratitude. Mindset is so important when it comes to anything we want to accomplish. We are in control. We have to know that. You have to know that you're in control.
Mhm.
So I take
Yeah.
over my control and overcome that fear. Thank you, Anne.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So fear comes to you where it presents to you in your body as anxiety, right? The outcome is symptoms. Is that you feel a physical fear, or are the words starting to loop making you afraid? Which one is it? Or is it both?
That's right. It could be both. Yes. Because
Mhm.
when you're in fearful right here, the body reacts and
Yeah.
becomes anxiety. Yes.
So that's how it comes into your life, correct, Janet? Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Great. Miss Renee, how do you define fear in your life right now? And when a fear hits you, how does it present?
Interesting that that's a question for today, and I gather I would have a different response if this was the Renee maybe 10 years ago. Currently where I am, I don't live in fear at all. And let me share with you why I don't. I think through my life and through my journey, I've been able to not only embrace living through everything from a spirituality space, I live life through grace. And so technically what happens for me, literally, I used to have those butterflies with the first time I used to speak on stages, or even I'd say this, even when like today is 9/11. When 9/11 hit, I was a newly mother, and just being able to face some of the uncertainties of what was happening or what I was not able to control, that's where I probably had some of those moments of fear. How whatsoever today, Anne, I have no fear. Fear is not a part of my vocabulary. And I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I share with you, I live my life in a calm space. I'm very, very in a place of just not only connecting with my spirituality, but I give everything to my Father Almighty, God, Jehovah. That's what I do. And so I don't really live in fear at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you've done the steps, right? You've done the
Mhm.
steps to conquer fear. I often say, we're told to um, conquer fear, gain confidence. But I find that there aren't a lot of tools out there, or there's a lot of tools that are advice. My biggest pet peeve is when I'm standing on a stage or being in the audience with people like, you should do this, and then there's no implementation tool. Like, if you want to lose weight, you should eat fish. You should eat this. You should do that. It's like, but okay, in what quantities? What fish? How am I going to do that? How am I going to incorporate it? And so, you two and myself, I don't live in fear anymore, but I used to
Mhm.
live in fear. And so when I ask people, like, how does fear present itself to you? Interestingly enough, most people give me a physical sign. It sends in my chest, it starts in
Mhm.
my gut.
Mhm.
But as they start to talk, ultimately, fear starts with a word.
You said it starts with that word.
A word.
A word,
Yes,
yes.
a
You
word.
know, yeah. I'll say this. We met thanks to Mr. Greg S. Reed, right, with Secret Knock. That's bop,
Yes,
bop, bop. And we're looking forward to knocking it out next year as well together. I'll share
yes,
this with you. Even in preparation for that stage, I knew it was going to be a brand new setting. What I did in regarding to going into the unknown, where I used to have those butterflies, I literally fasted. I
Mhm.
fasted for 8 days just on the water. That's what I did. So, you know what it helped me to do? And it literally helped me to prepare mentally clarity. That was one thing that it helped me to do. But also, I just wasn't shaken about anything. I was
Mhm.
so ready to just step into the unknown, and I embraced the newness. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people have a problem with going places that they've never gone before, right? A lot of people may even have issues of even going into meeting new people for the very first time. That could be very nerve wracking for a lot of the viewers out there. But I'll share with you because of just life experiences. And then also, like I said, that mental capacity and just really training my brain differently, I step into it. I welcome it.
Yeah. Janice, do you agree with that? Is that how your progress with fear and becoming fearless came to where you are now?
I love that, Renee. Definitely, faith has a big factor in that. When we put it on to our faith and believe, then because our brain doesn't hold two two thoughts at the same time. So if you're thinking about focusing on the fear instead of focusing on faith or gratitude, you know, it will switch. You'll start seeing the shift in your mind and body. So definitely, I love that.
Yes, I love that too. Now, here's my next question to you, ladies. What is faith?
Well, for me, faith is that higher spirituality that keeps me grounded. Growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, my mother was so wrapped around spirituality. And not only that, but just the scriptures alone. And as a Jehovah's Witness, my mother really helped us to just embody that space. And I'll share this with you, Anne.
Mm.
As a little girl growing up, I would always ask mom, just give me what is your point of view. What do you think? You know, give me some insight from you. She'd say, well, let's see what the Bible says. I'm like, not the Bible again. You know, as a kid, we don't know, right? And so what I didn't understand was what mom was really preparing me for is not only to take everything into a spiritual space, but also having a great appreciation for faith, because we know for sure when you have faith, and I like to say faith for, as I say, faith without work is dead. But if you don't believe, you got to have that strong belief system, and it comes from not only stemming from a spirituality space, but to me, faith is something, it's almost like that je ne sais quoi. You can't really wrap yourself around it fully, but you know it exists. It's because of the closeness and the bond that I have with Almighty God. And so that's basically when I think about faith, hands down, I already know what the possible is, because trust and believe without faith, I'll probably be scared. Okay, the impossible. I'm just giving you
You
guys
just said
that
it.
for sure.
You
Yeah.
just said it. Back it up.
Yes.
Back up. What did you
Back
just
it
say?
up.
Back it up. Back it up. You just said what I was waiting for you to say. Faith and
Fear. Faith.
trust. Trust. Trust.
Yes.
Now, Janice, what is, because you also were like, I love God and I faith, right? But what is faith? It what is spirituality? When you're putting yourself into faith spirituality, what are you doing?
I'm giving myself to my spiritual creator. Discussing my not fears. I don't want to call them fears, but my concerns, um, for guidance. I'm calling. I'm asking for guidance, and
Okay.
you know, when you ask, you will receive. When you
Now here's
believe, you
my
will receive.
here's
I'm proof of a miracle. I'm proof of miracles happen. So
yeah.
I definitely believe in spirituality, my creator, uh, God Almighty. And when we live in integrity and wisdom, we're closer to our creator.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
So,
Live in integrity and wisdom.
yeah, okay, living in integrity and wisdom, right? It's self-integrity, self-wisdom, because you've connected to the higher divine sacred intelligence, right? So for people that don't have a strong faith, for people that are questioning their faith, for people that are like what does that mean? Then what is your answer to that? If they're like, well, I don't really believe in God, I don't have a faith, I don't even know what that means, what are the steps to that? See, I find that that's the disconnect. And that's what the fear code in the law of fear squared is what are the steps to get there? So what do you say to those people? What's your
You
advice?
go ahead, Janice.
Renee? Oh, you want to go?
I thought you were saying. Go ahead.
What do I say to those people? Well, I was one of those people when I was younger. I did not grow up in, I was baptized as a baby in the Catholic Church, but we did not go to church. My mom didn't teach us the ways of this, but I was drawn to it myself. Something always, I saw the beautiful church and I went in there and I listened. Me as a child, as a kid in the neighborhood, I would just go into the church and I would listen, but I always had this I'm a miracle because I was born. I'm here on earth. There has to be a higher power. Why am I here? I always question that. Why am I here? What is my purpose? My purpose. And when I had my first child, that even well, when I was saved for the first time, I could have 5 times my life could have been taken, and I was saved. I was spared, and so that opened up my eyes even more as a teenager when it first happened to me. So those little signs just knew deep down inside that there's so much more, and that my creator
Yeah. Yeah.
has me here for my purpose. And that's
Yeah.
up to me to discover that purpose.
Yes.
You said something very important. I'm going to package this and then Renee, I'm handing
Mm-hmm.
the baton to you. But I want
Yes.
to package um it for people that are like, I don't know the steps to get there. Now, what Janice said, and this is for the general human population, is number one, faith, divinity, sacred intelligence is a trust, right? In faith. Faith is being trustful. What I want to teach people, what I can teach you is that if you don't trust yourself with intuition, or what I call intuitive fear, which you are born with, it is in your biology. You do not have to learn it, but we don't train people that that's what it is, the gut feeling, the instinct. Now, here's the interesting part. I'm going to give you little pieces of this at a time. In our subconscious mind, right? We have our conscious and we have our subconscious. I want you to think of the subconscious as the laws of biology, physics, they are non negotiable. They don't have a sense of humor. They do not negotiate, they do not bend. And so when we talk about intuition, when we talk about faith, whatever that faith is or isn't for you, I don't want people to think because I don't have faith, I can't be faithful. Like there are steps to get there. It's not a requirement if you understand that intuition is faith and faith is trust. And unless you understand how to trust yourself and listen to it, what I call intuitive fear, or what I've termed kind fear one, it's hard to get rid of word fear, or what I call unkind fear two. So I'm glad that you put it like that, because intuition is in it's ingrained intuition. I call it in tune with wishing. And Janet, you just said it. Ask and you shall receive, right? And I have it all mapped out in a very concise way that's never been described like this. So this is
Mm.
population, everybody, we did not practice this conversation. So
Right.
this is even more exciting. It's just coming out naturally. Okay,
I love it.
Renee, you're on. What's up?
Yeah. When you think about fear for some, I look at it as different levels or even layers, almost like an onion, because you have to look at it from different perspectives.
Mhm.
Sometimes fear is based upon lack of information. It can also be based upon lack of experiences, lack of access, right? So, I mean, like to me, when you think about some that absolutely live in a space of fear, it's because of the unknown. And so sometimes, and I'll say this even, like we said, we had it before, but that's who we were, not who we are today. Even with myself, working on a job space, I work with, don't mind saying it, two banks, right? And so the fear of not of the fear of being fired, that's sometimes people right now, they're facing the fear of being fired. Uh,
Mhm.
that's a scare within most people. It's like, oh my God, don't fire me. In all actuality, sometimes you need to be fired so therefore you can find your strength. And I know that stems from not having enough experience, so therefore you can ultimately know who your identity is. A lot of people are starving with identity crisis. To me, is at the top of the list. If you don't believe me, even when you think about getting on the right side of money, we talked about that as well. So many people are followers as opposed to leaders. And so when you're in a space of scarcity mindset, it's not only important for us to embrace the space of knowledge and education. I feel as if that's one of the reasons why we come from a place of confidence today. In order for you to be able to stand in any room, it's like you first have to go through the experience of what it feels like in order to be in that room. And it's called access as well. And so a lot of people who may not have that access, who may not really know who they are, that identity, starving for that identity is everything. And it's
Mhm.
everything. And so through the journey of where we are right now, we mention it. It's like, what are they faced with? They're faced with the unknown. They are faced with the unknown because they don't know who they are. And so you have more people that now are automatically emotionally unstable because they are not able to find clarity in their journey. And when you have mixed emotions or just going around the world throwing things up on the wall to see if it sticks, it's just one of those things, just like we're playing Russian roulette with our personal as well as our business combination of our emotions, and also just even with not having solid foundation through the journey. So when
Mhm.
you ask that question, that's my response. A lot of people are starving for identity. They don't know who they are. And in addition to that, if you don't know who you are, you literally don't have access to certain rooms to be able to have this information. And when you receive these doors of access, do you even know what to do with that? Chances are you don't.
No,
No,
because you don't recognize them.
that's right.
You agree?
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't recognize them because opportunities fall from intuition, from divinity, from the sacred laws, right? So, whatever thoughts we're thinking in our conscious mind, which we call intelligence, logical, it's run by our five senses. We have to see it, hear it, smell it, touch it, and taste it. And if we can't organize everything in a sentence to prove it to ourselves, we are not going to believe it. And what you were describing, Renee, is, what we sometimes refer to as inherited fear, generational fear. And all of that is what were you surrounded by? What did society say? What did your religion say? What did your parents say? What did your friends or not friends say? Whatever was given to you, especially in childhood, is what we are ingrained to believe, and that's how we define ourselves. And the fear code erases that. Because when I say to people, and let's do this right now, you two
Yes.
are so advanced, so it's, but I'll say, introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself. I want you to tell me about yourself. Renee, you go first this time. Tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself to me. Who are you? I want to know who you are.
Okay, I'm a woman of God. I'm a mother of a phenomenal 22-year-old superstar. I've em- I've been able to utilize my life experiences to bridge the gap with financial literacy and health and wellness. My background stemmed from being a vice president of two banks, as well as being able to travel the world as an international model. As it stands right now, grateful to. Be able to make an impact, to empower, as well as help to transform lives. I gratefully appreciate being able to pour into our young leaders, our wives, as well as our females, but most importantly, also just families, to restore them. My ultimate goal is to keep you whole, keep you healthy, and truly keep you wealthy. And so those are some of the areas that who I am stems from me, because I'm not only a child of God, I'm also the child of Willie Mae and Willie Frank Wilson, who've been able to pour in the secret ingredients to keep me not only thriving for more, but also understanding my calling in life. And
Yes.
that's just a little bit.
Yes, I love it. Okay, now, Janice, I want you to do what Renee did, but you cannot use your titles, you cannot use your education, you cannot use your job descriptions or job titles. Now, I want you to tell me who you are.
Janet Alvarado, a grandmother of four, um, a wife, a sister, a daughter, um, who always uplifts others. I'm always happy, healthy, wealthy, and strong. That's my mindset. Every day I
Mhm.
wake up telling that to myself, even on those days where I don't feel so good, because our mind cannot think of two things at a time. So, what do I choose? To choose to focus on the not feeling so good, or to choose to uplift myself and get going? Because I can't stop. I have to keep moving because um, for me, myself, and I have a mission on this earth, and that mission is to empower myself, my family, my friends, and community.
Okay, nice, beautiful, beautiful. So then, is fear, do people create their own fears, or can everything that somebody might be afraid of, can it be linked back to an experience, or do people just create their own fears?
I think people are 20. Okay. And if you really want to know, they're 20 with themselves. I'll share this with you because growing up, my mother had so many fears. And as a child, usually, like you said, you could inherit fear, or I would say it's transferable. How about that? Let's say it transferable. My mother was afraid of water, and she had every reason to be, because she was pregnant with my brother, and unfortunately, there was Hurricane Betsy that she had to jump outside of a window to find safety. So automatically fear of water, number one. Number two, she was fear of snakes. And you know what? I even faced that fear. I wasn't afraid of snakes, but I faced that fear with my daughter as I petted one of the snakes when we were in London. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
I think what happens is, if we are in an environment that is not educating us about life, or just how to manage and how to operate, or even how to respond or how to act to certain things, we just don't know what we don't know. And until you get that information, or just have somebody to show you differently, then that give you an opportunity to apply yourself with a different behavior. You asked a question, is it something that we cause on ourselves? Absolutely. Why? Because we just don't know what we don't know. And I call ourselves twinning because everybody have a positive in us and we also have a negative in us. We just have to push aside that negative to get out of the way so the positive can pull through. Did I answer your question okay?
I cannot wait to answer this. And you just set me
Yes.
up perfectly with like,
Good.
I mean, divine sacred intuition has just, I am so excited to answer this. Janice, what do you think? Do you think people make up their own fear, or can everything be linked back to an experience, um, or something that they learned?
It's definitely something that they learn because as babies, we do not know fear. I see my grandchildren, they're fearless until the parents or someone tells them, don't do that. You'll get hurt. Don't do that. It's going to, whatever.
Mhm.
And naturally, our brain does protect us. So it does go into that fear mode sometimes. But like I said, we are in control of this. So we definitely have to be aware of those situations when they come to us. So I
Yes,
definitely
yes,
learned.
definitely learn. I've been working with patients and clients for almost 30 years, and I can tell you it's all learned. It all came from an experience. It all came from a word. It all came from somebody told you something, made you feel something, or made you believe something, whatever that is. And so then if you don't know that's not true, you're always going, that's your belief. That's who you are. That's what we believe, right? And so, Renee, you said something so perfect. It takes a negative and it takes a positive.
Mhm.
Okay. What is the fundamental element that makes everything? If you go tiny, 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 what's the tiniest particle of matter?
It's our belief system.
It's the atom.
It's the atom. What did you, I
The
said
atom.
okay, it's the atom.
Belief. It's the
Okay.
atom. So the atom is the smallest
The
element of
atom, the atom.
all
Okay.
matter. Okay. So
Yes.
your
I've been
hair,
here.
your desk, this straw, the drink, everything is made out
Hmm.
of an atom. What is in an atom? An electron, which is
Hmm.
negative. Okay. A proton, which is positive. Now, on their own, they have one goal. Electrons are negative energy. They're just swarming around. And matter or proton is matter. It's like it just sits here. It has no movement. Neither of them have a plan B without each other. And the only way, and this is a universal law, besides hydrogen, that it takes two forces to bond together in harmony
Hmm.
and neutralization to transmute into something completely new. So, in the whole basis of everything I've studied, everything I've created, of the fear code, of the law of fear, there will be a negative and there will be a positive. There will be energy and there will be matter. And unless we find a way to connect them in harmony and neutralize them, like the atom,
Hmm.
for two forces to come together to create something new, to create everything you see, feel, hear, touch, it's the basis of fear. If you can't take the words that we've learned, the belief systems, the energy that's out here, and figure out how to neutralize it with like our intuition, our faith, our sacred law, our divine intelligence, which is what I call intuitive fear. Have either of you, I'm going to divert and come back. Have either of
Yes.
you ever thought like, um, you get a gut feeling and you're like, nope, I'm not going to do it because up here you logically talk yourself out of it.
Yes.
And then you make this decision and you ignore this one. And then you come back and you're like, I knew that would happen.
That's the whole
Yes,
twinning.
right.
To me,
Yes.
that's the whole twinning. That's the whole twinning analogy I have. It's
Okay.
always we are constantly talking to ourselves. Either we're talking ourselves into something or we can easily talk ourselves out of something.
Yes,
And again, it's all about the decision that we have to make in order for us to live
that part.
the results. And I'll say this, and I know we're going to be closing out with some of our closing comments. The fear that we have, I think because we were always raised to, if you get an F on your report card, if you fail, then that like automatically is something negative, right? Literally, failure is powerful. Failure is everything. Everything is about how the perspectives of how we look at things and how we analyze things in order for us to really learn how to respond to things differently. It really helps when you can have that mental intelligence. I like to say that because intelligence, it helps us to make better decisions. And again, because we are sometimes we have lack of information, lack of knowledge. Unfortunately, we're going to only respond to, we always talk about that turtle analogy with the giraffe. The turtle is going to respond to things on its level, and the giraffe is going to respond to things on their level. So we all have to understand. I would say this, and always be open to learn, always be willing to be coachable and teachable. And at any given day, learn to also be adaptable or change the way we look at things. That's the only way we're going to get better outcomes and results.
100%. Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
I know,
Now,
yes,
before I wrap it up, like with the conclusion of what I'm
yes.
getting to, Janice, what do you think? Tell us your last thoughts here.
Well, my last thoughts is remember, my friends, remember,
Yeah.
you are in control. We are always in control of our mind, emotions, and words that come out of our mouths.
Mhm.
Never forget that. That's number one. Live in gratitude. Gratitude for what you already have. Even if you don't have much, don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have. You have yourself, first of all. You have an ability to see, learn. Use your mindset. And remember, you got this. You can control anything in your life, in your path, if you choose. No one's in control of you but you. Thank you. And
Oh,
I have to go.
right. All right. So to wrap all of this up so beautifully, everything you said is 100% absolutely true. And you guys are the directs, right? You've already done the hard, laborious work of Janet, you said it. I was saved. What was that? That was intuition, divinity saying, I got you. And then you responded with like, huh, interesting. Because what did it do? It proved to your logical mind. It proved to you in something that we can explain with words that it's real. Even though it seems illogical, even though we can't scientifically like really put our finger on it, it is real. And that's the secret code is that all of your work, it doesn't matter. If you were not born with it, it is not yours. I can help you find the generate. You're like, where's the link? And we erase it. And then we define who are you to the core? Because people don't know. I agree with you, Renee. People
Mhm.
don't know. And we haven't taught them how do you define yourself? We say, like, well, you should be like Superman. And they're like, I want to be like Batman. But maybe you're really like Hulk Hogan. I don't know, or Hulk, the Great Hulk. You have to figure out who you are and you need the tools to do it. Now, my book is coming out hopefully in a couple months. It has the
Mhm.
whole description, it has the tools that
Mhm.
to implement, to walk people that are like so lost so that we can decrease suicide, we can
Right.
decrease panic, we can decrease anxiety, but that you don't have to like search out a provider, you don't have to search out somebody like there is this is the divine sacred gift that I was given through my own challenges with fear in my own medical career and now working with people. Um, And the reason I brought up the atom is because the analogy of how we think of the two forces, how do you get them together? And how do you live at the levels of Renee and Janice and really get all of the blessings and manifestations of what this life, why are you here? There's a definitive purpose. Doesn't matter how you started, or where you did start. There is a way to get out of this and live that. Does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
It
Mm-hmm.
makes so much sense. And oh my God. I mean, today was like one of our master classes, right?
Yes.
Hearing from you, really putting things into a different awareness, and also just looking at things a little bit different, as we said, we're unshaken. Three incredible, powerful women, one conversation, and just dealing with today's reality. And that's basically what today has been. And I mean, what we can always do is truly welcome you back. So therefore we can go and do a deeper dive when that book comes out, as our
Yes.
reader club,
Yes.
52 books a year. That's a part of our ministry. And we just finished
Yes.
wrapping up Think and Grow Rich by Mr. Robert Kiyosaki.
Mm.
Ooh, what a
Mm.
powerful, powerful book it has been. And I'm looking so forward to just really embracing ourselves around this year.
Yeah.
2025, we're closing it out bolder, better, with more clarity, and truly with more love. That's something that we have control over, Anne. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your wisdom today. Thank you for your incitement in alignment. And most importantly, thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your gifts. I mean, it was powerful meeting you right there in San Diego. And this is just the beginning, okay, Jan? This is just the beginning, because we truly will be welcoming you back. So therefore, we can go over, do a deeper dive with your
Mm.
book, and then just really we're looking forward to, we're getting ready to celebrate the GW3 Warriors. We have our women's retreat October 24th through the 26th. We will be in Lexington, Kentucky. Very excited, just being able to embrace new opportunities for the community. And truly, we look forward to you being able to embrace some of these moments that we have throughout the remainder of the year.
Yeah.
So, Anne, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was amazing. Was just an impromptu. Let's get together and talk.
Yes.
And Ms. Renee saying, let's talk, talk. So thank you
Right.
so much for being such a light in my life ever since you walked into it. And you can pre-purchase the book at ansummer.org, and get on the list at least, so we can stay in contact, because what I gave you is not even the tip of the iceberg. It's like one atom of the iceberg.
Yes.
And so much good. You do so much good. So thank you so much for including me in your life. I love you so much.
Absolutely. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side of your greatness. And tell them we're going to roll our shoulders back, put our heads up high, understanding not only are we the chosen ones, right? We know we have limited time left on this earth. So most importantly, we're going to do our part. That's what we are here to do. And thank you again, Anne, for honoring us with your energy today. Bye
Thank
for
you.
now,
You're
beautiful
welcome.
family. It's such a great honor to be able to raise funds for Living Beyond Breast Cancer organization.
Yes, thank you, Renee, very much for helping us to organize this event. It's for a beautiful cause, and it's always our pleasure to help people.